I don't really like Blake Lively. So I thought. Well, in this 80-page complaint, she details how he hired a sophisticated PR team to ruin her reputation, and they did an excellent job.
Private text messages and other documents that we've obtained reveal what really happened. A campaign to tarnish Lively after she alleged that Justin Baldoni, her co-star and director, and Jamie Heath, the producer, had engaged in misconduct while shooting the film.
The Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni situation went from seriously bad already to just completely flipping on its head, 180 no scope in it, right? Like, we had a significant amount of backlash for Blake Lively when the new movie that she made with Justin Baldoni, It Ends With Us, came out, right? When Justin Baldoni came out and said that she was just horrible to work with. And what was even crazier was that there was that interviewer who said that Blake Lively was the worst person that she'd ever interviewed. And now, right, it turns out that Blake Lively was just sat on a whole bunch of information, and Justin Baldoni was just trying to create a smear campaign to try and get word out there to smear Blake Lively's name before she could get her evidence out there that Justin Baldoni was just absolutely horrendous on set. And now she has filed a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni for so many things, it's not even funny. Like, it's actually bonkers. Take a listen to this because it gets you kind of caught up to speed on the whole situation thus far.
A forensic psychologist. One, I don't really like Blake Lively. So I thought. Well, in this 80-page complaint, she details how he hired a sophisticated PR team to ruin her reputation, and they did an excellent job. They actually looked at TikTok, they looked at social media platforms, they went on Reddit, and they wanted her to look like she didn't care about the movie and that she was callous. And they wanted him to look like he was over empathetic, I guess you could say. He even went to the point of asking for an appointment with Dr. Amons to show that he had neurodivergence in case there was any question about him not looking like he cared about victims and survivors of abuse. This is effing appalling.
Now, obviously, that was the whole situation, right? Because the whole movie was about, like, domestic violence and stuff like this, and basically, like, trying to get out of a situation that involves domestic violence. So it was a very sensitive and serious topic at the heart of the movie. And that was kind of how this whole situation spawned, essentially.
It's on the New York Times. Open it up. It's 80 pages. There are screenshots. I put them in my stories, and you can see this sophisticated attempt that worked to play out a hatred campaign to ruin Blake Lively. And I have to say, I stand with Blake.
I mean, this is the thing, right? People came out and were, like, completely against Blake Lively because obviously there was so much stuff that went on prior to this as well. And, you know, it all just kind of, like, culminated to making it look as if Blake Lively was just this horrendous person. When in actual fact, she may have actually been the victim at all in the heart of all of this.
Ends With Us, starring Blake Lively, was a huge box office hit, even as rumors spread of turmoil behind the scenes. In a legal complaint Lively filed on Friday, private text messages and other documents that we've obtained reveal what really happened. A campaign to tarnish Lively after she alleged that Justin Baldoni, her co-star and director, and Jamie Heath, the producer, had engaged in misconduct while shooting the film. A story about breaking the generational cycle of domestic violence. Among other allegations, Lively claimed that Baldoni had engaged in improvised and unwanted kissing and made sexual comments to her, and that Mr. Heath had shown her pictures of his wife naked, and that he had watched her while she was topless getting makeup removed.
I mean, there was actually receipts of all of this stuff as well. So this isn't just like, you know, unfounded allegations. There's actual proof of this.
Even as she had asked him to look away. She had taken her complaints to the film studio, and the men agreed to bring in a full-time intimacy coordinator, an outside producer, and put in place other protections. They also agreed in writing not to retaliate against her. But as the release of the movie approached, they hired a crisis PR manager who orchestrated a smear campaign against Lively. The PR expert, Melissa Nathan, has represented clients including Johnny Depp and the rapper Drake. Nathan came up with a document spelling out her plans, but Baldoni wanted more. A publicist who had already been working with Baldoni wrote to Nathan, "He wants to feel like she can be buried. You know we can bury anyone," Nathan wrote, "but I can't write that to him." In one message to the publicist, Nathan indicated that she had gotten allegations against Baldoni removed from articles. He doesn't realize how lucky he is right now. The whispering in the ear, the sexual connotations, she wrote. I mean, there's just so much. At the same time, Nathan assembled a team that could dominate social media through full social account takedowns by starting threads of theories and generally working to change the narrative. It's impossible to know.
I mean, this is insane. Like, this it's crazy to think that this is how this actually works, and that they, like, actually bring in crisis management teams to, like, create narratives online to steer attention away from someone, and, like, create threads or stoke little fires that's then spawn into media frenzies. Like, we are literally playing in a game of Monopoly right now, and we are just the pawns in this game.
Know how much they planted and how much of it was originating organically. Whatever the case, they seized on it and amplified it.
This is crazy.
Sony, the film distributor, had signed off on a promotion plan that instructed the cast to focus not on domestic violence, but on the uplifting message of the film.
It Ends With Us is in theaters now, so grab your friends, wear your florals, and head out to see it.
Which,
now, obviously, that was a massive bone of contention with the audience, right? Because it seemed like the whole idea of the promotion was so uplifting and so wonderful, and everyone was like, Blake Lively's so insensitive because the message of the movie is absolutely horrendous. Like, it shouldn't be like this upbeat kind of promotion for this movie. You need to be sensitive to potential victims of this story, and that was something that would really kind of grinded on fans.
some online observers said was tone deaf. The team discussed how online criticisms of Miss Lively could help narrative-wise.
Wow.
Emails referred to social manipulation and proactive fan posting. Text messages cited efforts to amplify and boost online content that was critical of Lively and
Wow.
favorable to Baldoni. And within days, they were talking about how the online conversation had shifted. In one message to the publicist, Nathan wrote, "Socials are really, really ramping up in his favor. She must be furious." It's actually sad because it just shows you have people really want to hate on women.
Wow.
The shift in online sentiment was unusual enough that a digital marketing consultant produced a report that August that concluded that Lively was being subjected to a targeted multi-channel online attack. In a statement, a lawyer for Baldoni, the studio, and all its representatives denied the allegations. There are a variety of methods that have long been used to shape public opinion about celebrities: gossip columns, tabloids, strategic interviews. But this story reveals a new playbook for waging a far-reaching and largely undetectable smear campaign in the digital age.
That's actually crazy, isn't it? To think that this whole, like, about this whole thing and how everything's spanning out. Because, like, obviously, like, the difference would be, right, if there was no receipts and there was no proof, you'd be like, ah, yeah, sure, whatever, right? But the thing is that she did come back with receipts, and there's proof that this, like, you know, emergency campaign that came into place and this agency that came in to basically, like, salvage the PR just literally went on a massive smear campaign against Blake Lively to try and save Justin Baldoni's reputation. What an absolute dog. Guys, what do you think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. While you're down there, jump to get the hell out of that like button, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.